G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Look, it's going to be, well, it's 33. It's just a little bit under 33 at the moment. There's a little bit of breeze coming. I can just hear the front doors vibrating in the tracks. They just rock back and forth in the tracks here. We had some bloody hot weather. Yeah, the last few days, holy, yeah, cooked us up a little bit. Which anyway, I suppose in Queensland that's what you get used to. Busy week though. I got the camper trailer in, and I'm not sure with that airline that come from the bottom of the 40 litre water tank, the front water tank going up through, I couldn't get air through it. And I was blowing through it and buggering around, and I assembled the camper and I hopped back in and I couldn't see any kinks in the hose or anything like that, so I banged a bit of air through it both ways and it seems good as gold now. So whether it had a tiny little wasp nest, you know, we have those little mud dauber wasps and they'd blocked it up or something at some stage, I don't know, but so I run the hose in, and what was happening before is when I tried to fill it, because I was getting an airlock in the tank, I was only getting it a bit over half full. But now, according to the gauge, look, it's full as you can go. When you put the water in the top, it squirts out that little breather hose. So I think we're onto it. We'll see. We'll see how we go with that. I got all the front of the paddock slashed, and the mowing, all the rider mowing done. Judy helped me finish off the orchard just yesterday evening. We had a big day yesterday. A lot of club stuff. Last Thursday night we went downtown and we had the Christmas pageant, the pageant of lights they call it. And look, we had a great club turnout. We had many members turn up. I had trouble, I was running along trying to get footage of it, but the trouble I was having was on the Rum City Vintage Machinery Club banner at the top, we had a couple of bright lights shining on the sign because the year before you couldn't see the sign clearly. And the first night, on the test night, the night before, they put that on and the cane beetles and all the insects from miles around come around. So I went around there on the Wednesday and we said, well, why don't we wrap it in cellophane sort of thing, yellow cellophane, because that doesn't attract the insects. But that was fine, that did the job for the insects. But whenever you tried to take a photo, just to get a group photo near it with all the lights on it, this yellow light at the top would flare out all the time. And I haven't had time to have a look at the video footage yet. If there's a little bit of video footage, I will put it at the end, videos of the stew. But so we got that done, got the parade done, and as new president, this last year, not this one just now, the year before, our club got one of the best display awards, and I think it gets around $50 or something like that from the council. And so this year, look, it was pretty good, but Judy and I had to hang around. So all the members, after all the work, they did the parade, and then Judy and I had to sit up where they had a concert stage, and that's where they had the awards. So we had to sit up there till probably about 9:15 of an evening and see if we won anything. But look, we didn't win anything this year. The Disability Riders Group won the main prize, and but look, that was good. We had the AGM and we had the mayor there, and the mayor was in on the meeting when we were doing the Christmas float, and she said, I've got to tell you, at the meeting, she said, I'm the judge. So so it wouldn't have been right even if we had won, I don't believe, and we won the year before, so it's good to spread it around. But walking back along, I was hobbling. The front half of the parade, geez, it bloody went quick. I got some footage coming around the corner, and then they were going that fast, I nearly had to run up the bloody street in the centre there to try and catch up, and I had sweat pissing off me. I said to Jude when they got up halfway, I said, I'm staying up here. You know, so I didn't have to walk the whole length of the street and come back up for the presentations and back down again and all that. So yeah, she said, God, it looks like you've been in the rain. I said, yeah, I had a shirt on. I'll put a couple of photos there. I had a shirt on with, it was a t-shirt with a looked like Santa's big belly and all that, and it sort of fitted me nicely. And anyway, the Catholic Care group, they were there and we were chatting to them, and a couple of ladies said, "Oh, can we have a photo with you?" So anyway, I lined up with a few of the ladies from the Catholic Care and got my photo as an imitation Santa. So Jude was laughing and I said, "Oh, bloody, that's all that makes people happy, let's get into it and let's enjoy it." So we did that. Then on the Friday we had the grandkids, so I had to ring Davey Rocket up and say, "Look, I can't come and help unload disassemble the float on Friday, but I could come in Saturday." And he said, "Oh, by about lunchtime the next day it was all pulled apart." So it's Tuesday now, and I've just come home an hour or so ago from picking up all my stuff off the float and going to get the 135, and I had to get Jude to come in with the ute so we could load the little mini baler and the generator and all the gear up and get it all home here. So I've just finished unloading now, and it's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday, which is bloody late for a Stu. I like to do them early when the shed's quiet and it's cool and things like that, but she's pretty warm. Friday we had young Freya. She's had a bit of a cough, so they didn't want her at daycare, so we had her. Then Saturday afternoon, night, she had a sleepover with Grandma and Poppy, so the kids come and got her. They had Christmas parties to go to, so we looked after the kids. Then Sunday I jumped on the rider ma for the morning, and then we had the club Christmas lunch in at the Spotted Dog Tavern over North Bundaberg here. So we went in there and had a dinner, and Jean, she's the official fundraiser for the club, and she told us she doesn't want to be the fundraiser, it has to be the fun raiser. So she's a bit of a character, and unbeknown to us, the sneaky old thing, it was her 80th birthday. So once we found out, one of the members snuck up and said, "Do you know it's Jean's birthday?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that at all." And so anyway, she said, "Do you think we should get her a cake?" So we went out to the kitchen in the hotel and said, "Have we got a cake?" Because they had coffee and cakes and all that sort of thing, but they didn't have a complete cake. So she said, Sonia said, "Well, what are we going to do now?" And she said, "How about we race down to the cheesecake shop?" And I said, "All right." She said, "I'll go, I'll drive," because I'd had a ginger beer by then. And I said, "All right." So I bloody flipped to $50. I said, "Is that enough for a cheesecake?" She said, "Yeah." I wouldn't know how much a bloody cheesecake was. So and they put "Happy Birthday Jean 80th" on it for us and all that, so it was great. And so then we had to keep her busy. So after the meal, people were sort of chatting, and she was getting ready to draw the raffles. Every meeting and every do where Jean's there, there's a little club raffle, and it can be a box of chocolates, a box of biscuits, it can be a novelty thing. Davey Recco got a can of CRC and a little note about tightening his nuts and all the thing. And look, it was great. Then we had to shut the front door because we were trying to get the cake ready out round the corner there, and here's Jean standing up there getting all their raffles ready to go. But anyway, we snuck that one in on her, and so that was good. She's a bloody character. So that was Sunday. By the time we went there and had a yarn to Kempies, and the bloody got a couple of photos with the Kempy boys, and all the young blokes have their shirts and they have their collar up, round. So all us old blokes, well, me particularly, I suppose, taking the piss out of them a bit. And so I had to have something's sticking me in the back. So I had to have my collar up then, so I was trendy like the young blokes. So then by the end we had Ralph and bloody Ray, Fermoil, all there, and here's all us old blokes with the young blokes with their collars all sticking up, bloody being trendy. But anyway, it's a good bit of fun. So we enjoyed that. And we got home from the Christmas party. Then Monday, which was yesterday, Tony, that's been vice president, he has a shed over north on Moore Park Road, and he's had a lot of club stuff there over the years, and he's just getting to the age his mobility's letting him down a little bit, and he's telling me yesterday this bloody old age is no good. So he's had a club shipping container there at his place with a heap of gear in. So we'd arranged to go and see Tony, and organise all that. And I was the young bloke. At 64, I'm the whippersnapper. So that's the hobby we're in, I suppose, eh? So I had to go over the road and see Bill at the auction centre, and he lent us a forklift, and we loaded engines. I had this big Detroit engine on the back of my ute. Jeez, it was heavy. It was a 350, 351 or look, I'm not sure of the Detroit numbers. It wasn't a 371, it was a 350 something. And it had a hydraulic forward reverser pack on the back of it. Yeah, we loaded that into the back of my ute. Geez, you're bloody heavy. And on my trailer, the gantry I used to have in here, the old yellow gantry, well, we put it, that's all right, I'm just checking my numbers over there, that the numbers are still going. I wasn't sure, I looked over there and I thought, shit, it's not recording, but it is. That's just the sound part. So yeah, we went to Tony's and we met there, and we got a lot of the stuff, the little model engines and the club engines and all that sort of stuff out, and some stuff into the back of Tony's ute, some into Alan's ute. My ute was chockers. Trevor come and helped us for the morning, and Nev Cayley turned up with some stuff he was donating to the club. So we went up to Mullet Creek where the club shed is, and yeah, we got all that unloaded and sat and had lunch in the shed and a chat, and it was bloody hot. Yeah, I didn't get home till, it was around school time, around 3 o'clock in the arvo, and yeah, I certainly didn't come up the shed when I got home. I thought, time to bloody sit in the cool and do a bit of paperwork and things like that. So yeah, it's just been busy. Then this morning I'd arranged with Davey Rocket to run into town and pick up the tractor and pick up the stuff that we'd put on the float. So we went in there, and of course you can't go in there and just have a race in, race out. You've got to have a chat for an hour in the chairs in the shed. So Judy and I did that, had a yarn to Rocket and Marilyn, and yeah, so got home now. Jude shot off, and I've had some paperwork to do, and I've had some bloody probably not worrying time so much, but about 3 days before the AGM, I got notice from Alan, who's the secretary, that Neville, the president at the time, was rattling his chain that the club had spent money it shouldn't, and it shouldn't have been approved at a meeting and all this stuff. And I was thinking, crikey. And so because I was incoming president and I was the only nominee, Alan and the executive were keeping me in the loop as what I had coming up. So what I had coming up was the president that chaired the meetings that approved the money, getting up the secretary for letting the money go, because if they read the lease, they shouldn't have been paying that money. I took over the chair and I was thinking, what a bloody shit fight I've got myself into here. So anyway, and there's whispers going around that the club had paid money. And look, what's happened is Rob Gorton and Dorothy, they've leased the land as a heritage trust. It's Granny and Pa's Heritage Trust. They're going to have a museum over time, but they've built a shed for the club that the club is leasing off Granny and Pa's Heritage Trust. So we're leasing the shed for $1 per year, and the shed's just put up. It's a brand spanking new shed, and it's 18 metres long by 9 metres wide, and this is section 1, so shed 8 that is. It's our shed, section 1, and 8, 9 and 10, so it's going to be still 9 metres wide, but then 3 lots of 18 metres long to put the club stuff in and some of the displays and the stuff that we've picked up over the years. So we're leasing that, and we'd brought through to meetings that we supply a tank and a pressure pump for the shed, and get the power put on. We got quotes to put the power on, and that went through a meeting to put the power on. And we're going for a government grant for inside the shed for helping to fit it out. But yeah, the club meetings I put forward, we buy a tank, and Nevi chaired that meeting, and then at another meeting I think he chaired it, and Ed put forward that we just pay for getting the power hooked on, which is about $4 grand, and it all went through a meeting and away it goes. So a week before the AGM, here's this thing that we shouldn't have spent that money, and big hoo-ha about it. And I'm thinking, God, bloody hell. So anyway, there was a couple of leases going around which were draft leases, and they weren't the signed ones. And so I got my hands on the signed one. As the president, I asked for it and I got it. And I sat down last night reading all about it and reading what's this and what's that. And Nev, he loved AgroTrend. It was a thing. And Rob said that when they were doing it years ago, it's coming for a renewal in 12 months' time, a 5-year lease, and the shed's only just got built. And Nev loves AgroTrend, and so when you get down to clause 19-4, here's the thing that part of the lease is that we have to support AgroTrend every year. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the shed up there. But anyway, when I read through the lease and the documents, and I found where Rob could supply power and water, or services, so just call it services to the shed. It was up to him to supply services to the shed, but when you read the next clause page over, if there was 2 tenants in the shed or 3 tenants in the shed, Rob could supply services to those sheds and then split it 2 or 3 ways, whatever. But as we're the sole tenant in the shed, he could charge us for the whole lot. So what we've done as a club is we've paid for it. We've put it all on. It's there. If the lease dies in 10 years or whatever, well, too bad. We've put a tank there and a pump there. And but Rob, I believe legally, reading the documents, that he could have done it and charged the club for it. So I believe there's been no wrongdoing, no bullshit going on in the background, which, boy, I'm grateful for. But Alan was worried. He'd read the lease, and then Robbie had read the lease. He hadn't read it since it got signed 4 years ago. And anyway, that's the conclusion I come up with. So I've been emailing back and forth, and I've been talking to solicitors, getting clarification of words and terms and all that sort of thing. And we're all good. Everything's been done properly and correctly, but it gave me a bit of... I bloody lay awake at night sometimes, and I'd think, now, how can that happen? That here's the bloke that helped. Nev went up and down 4 or 5 times, Robbie said, and changed the lease to benefit the club in some way or another. So the bloke that that was part of getting the lease done, after a couple of years, kicks up that we haven't done it. So I don't know how that works. So, but look, we're confident now. After I read it, I put my interpretation to it. I checked the words. I checked the meanings of the words. All that stuff. I think we're good. So yeah, that's a good thing. But next Sunday we're having a committee meeting at home here, and that was one of the topics to discuss. So I was trying to make sure I got my head around it. So the big day yesterday, shifting gear around up to the shed, and got home, and 11 o'clock last night I was still sitting there. I caught it to 11. I pulled the pin and I was sitting there reading leases and going back through minutes and all that. So I think we're good. So I explained my interpretation this morning to Alan and how I got to that interpretation, and he come back and said, yep. He says, I don't know how we missed that bit. So he's happy with it. I haven't spoken to Rob yet. I've just been busy. And so yeah, I think we're all good. So bloody off, get yourself into some shit sometimes, can't you? But anyway, so yeah, spent a lot of time doing that, just sorting that out and making sure I had proper answers and things like that. So, it was an interesting exercise, because I was going right back through when they agreed to be in the shed, and I was always been a member of the club, but I stepped away for a few years. It was just giving me the shits a bit, so I had a break. But now I'm in full swing. And anyway, good thing. I'm confident we've done the right thing, and we've got it all sorted out and going there. So which I'm bloody happy about. Last week the club's got a master built loader, and it's built on a David Brown Crop Master, and actually it's built on a 950, I think, an Implomatic. And the slew ram was leaking, so at the meeting we decided to fix that. So Ed and Jan, they decided to fix it. You know, they put their hands up to do the work. So yeah, I had Jan ring me up, and the end of the piston that holds the seal packing on one side, it broke away completely. So and I think it had a bit of a farmer fix in the end there somewhere at some stage. So yeah, we had Jan come out here for most of the afternoon one day, and we machined up an end for the piston, and so we could actually machine a whole plate up and hold the seal in, because the hydraulic oil was helping to hold the seal in place. So we machined that up, and that took us all afternoon by the time we had a chat, and which was good, because he brought up a lot of questions about the club that he hadn't known either. So and questions that him and his mates were wondering about with the club. So I was, I don't know all the answers, but I'll find out. We'll see. So, and then he forgot, we left a couple of, it had some half collars to hold the piston on the ram. He left that there, so he rang up and said, I've left them there. I'll come out, tomorrow and pick them up. I was, yeah, all right. So there's another couple of hours yarning in the doorway. So that's good, quite enjoyable. And I took all the batteries from over near the bush there, all the batteries of the old tractors over the years. It's probably only been a couple of years since I've done them, and I took them into the battery recycler, and because I needed a new battery for the boat, and I needed a new battery for the TEA20 here, because that failed. And I ended up getting $140 for my scrap batteries, and my new batteries cost $340. So I was $200 out of pocket, but that's all right. I spent the time through the week finishing off the TEA20 here, and look, it starts and runs beautifully now. The seat has always had a big crack in it and been a bit buggered, so I undid the seat, and I thought, it wasn't worth fixing, all the welds and that on it. So I thought, well, I've got the old barn find tractor out the back that I haven't had going in years since the video series, and I thought up the top there with the 1948 in the pallet racking that I might have had a seat, and a TEF20, and its seats is just as bad as mine was. The TEA20, the Howard reduction, it's got an aftermarket seat. So I found a seat that I've had to cut the guts out of, and it's been all brazed up. So I've got it in the doorway that I've been playing with it a little bit. I rung Gordon Ellis, and Kempy's going over there next weekend to see Gordon and see Tommy Horwood and things like that, and he might have a couple of seats for me. So I said, well, if you've got a couple, I'd love to buy them. So I'm hoping Gordon's got a couple of originals. There's a couple of differences, like the aftermarkets are just a little bit narrower on your bum, and the original ones, where the lever is down the side of the seat, it's dead straight, where the aftermarket ones have got a bit of a curl around it. And so I'm hoping to get a new seat for that. Once I put the seat on there, that's finished, but, there's always a but, it's got a new battery in it now. I do have an old set of foot plates that are a little bit ratty, and I find hopping on and off with just the peg sticking out, I'd rather have a foot plate on. So I do have a couple of old ones that have got a little bit of rust on them and things like that. So I might get them out and see if I can fit them to that TEA, just so it's a bit easier to use. But yeah, look, it starts and runs well. The carb on that tractor is that Chinese one that I bought in from overseas years ago. It's a Zenith 2014 knockoff. That bloody thing still runs like a clock, I've got the brand new carb to go on it, the proper Zenith, genuine Zenith out of Sparex, sitting in the cupboard in my drawers over there, and it's going to stay there, because I use that little tractor putting around and buggering around when I feel the need. And even after sitting over there, with a flat battery and I couldn't get spark and things like that, runs like a clock, bloody beautiful. But anyway, so even though I say I'm finished with that, I've got to do the seat, and I may do the foot plates. And what I'm thinking of doing is, on the forums and that, there's a lot of chat about, I've put my points in my tractor, I've done this and I've done that, and I've got no spark. So I'm thinking in my head that what I'm going to do is put a little bit of paper in between the points on that tractor and get the video camera out and show people just how to test spark with a test light. and yeah, the difference that, you know, just with a simple test light onto the coil wire, whether you have power to the coil, it tells you whether you have power to the coil with the points opening and shutting. You can see the pulsing of the light, you know, open and shut as you wind over. Just a couple of little things like that. So yeah, anyway, I've got to get myself organised. I've been running around like a blue ass fly with all this club stuff, and my head's in a different place. Well, it has been in a different place. So I've done absolutely nothing on the 65. Didn't get a chance to do any of that with Jan turning up, and like a good day there, I suppose, and then running around after shifting engines for old Tony. We've got to get the container lifted off Tony's place yet and up north, but Robbie and Adam have done a slab for that, done a site to put it on. And so yeah, work's not finished yet, probably just starting, but that's all right. I like to keep busy. Yeah, but anyway, we'll see. That's about it. I'll see if I can get some of the Christmas float stuff. I'll see. Look, it was bloody hard to get a video of it, and by the time I'd run up the street and get the camera up and try, well, a lot of it looks like it's flared out because of that yellow light we had, but I might find a couple of photos anyway, and we'll see how we go. But look, that's about all I have for the week. I was hoping to get another video out last week, but just how things turned out, it just didn't work. And I thought later on I could have filmed making the piston for the hydraulic cylinder over there, but then, you know, you got Jan there and he'd be chatting away, and it's just doesn't feel right, so we didn't do that. So yeah. Anyway, have a good week, everyone. Thanks for dropping by, and yeah, look, we'll catch you all next week, eh? See you.